to this class. I have missed you. Did you miss me? Because I did. All right. Welcome. Today we will be talking about structure. Essay structure. Now, when you understand how essay ought to be written, it is easy for you to write it. So we will be looking at the structure, what to follow, the order, so that you can always have a good essay. So first thing you want to look at, welcome, wherever you're joining me from, I love you. If you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed to my channel? That will encourage me to do more videos, more live section with you. All right, so we have essay structure. Now, the structure is very important in anything, in your household, as a government, as an organization, wherever. Now, if you don't have a structure, that place is going to fall. There will be disorder. I see a number of people write essays and the essay is very disorderly because they didn't follow a structure. They're writing here, they're going back and forth. So it's quite disorderly. Now, for you to have an orderly structure, you need to follow this. An essay that will blow minds. You want your essay to sit well with everybody. By the time they are done, they are like, wow, that's a good essay, especially if you're writing an exam. Now we have introduction. The first thing you want to look out for is hook. What is hook? The title. Hook is something that will capture your audience attention. If you want to capture your audience attention, the first thing you have to do, hook. For instance, a sentence to grab the reader's attention. It could be quote, it could be question, it could be fact. All you want to do is to grab the reader's attention, because if you're starting something, you want your audience or your reader to listen to you. So you need something that will captivate them and then they are hooked. All right. So something like this would be good. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Written by Nelson Mandela. By the time they see it, oh, I want to know more. I want to know more. What is the writer trying to talk about? Now, after drawing their attention, it could be a quote. Like I just said, this is a quote from Nelson Mandela. Then you could ask a question. Is education really important? You know, that's a hook. Or it could be a fact of how education helped someone. All right? How education has transformed the world. So any of this can be used as a hook. Then after writing your hook, you need background information. Like people begin to wonder, what is this writer talking about? Now, they need a background information. You have to go straight to the point. Brief context or explanation of the topic. So go hit the nail. Stop beating around the bush. No one has time to beat around the bush this time around. The patience at this time, it's really very bad because of social media, I think. So what you have to do is hit your point. Hit it so the person can be more interested. For example, I wrote here, background information, for example, in today's fast-paced and competitive world, education plays a crucial role in shaping individuals and societies. With the rise of technology and globalization, the way we learn and access knowledge is constantly evolving. Now, that's a brief summary of what you have to talk about. And now, the listener or the writer, the reader rather, we want to know more, because now you've added technology, you've added globalization, you've added a lot, meaning this writer is going to say something I need to know information. So I need to read more. So after you've given a background information, the next thing you want to do is thesis statement, meaning the main argument or point of the essay. What is your point? You're talking about education. What are you driving at? You're talking about education. You're talking about globalization. You're talking about, what are you trying to say? So I wrote here, the next thing you want to do is to give the main argument or point of the essay. So I wrote here, this essay, we argue that while traditional classroom education skill holds value, I beg your pardon, online learning offers greater accessibility, flexibility, and personalized experiences, making it a more effective option for modern learners. Now, the reader is beginning to understand what you mean. Like, having a virtual class is very good. But right now, we need to embrace online classes. That's what the writer is trying to talk about. Like, even when we know virtual classes are very good, online classes are also very important. They are very important because one can be in their room, just like us. I am talking to you today. I'm in my house and I'm talking to everyone all over the world. So if you cannot be in a place at a particular time, you can be online. So the writer is trying to say that it's something that we have to embrace. Education is good, but we should look at it from online and virtual, not just particularly virtual. So we should look at it both off and online, especially online, because sometimes when you are physically present and your lecturer or your teacher is teaching, sometimes you don't get to understand. But if it's online, you can replay and replay and replay again until you understand, and it enables retention. So there are many importance of online education. So that's what the speaker is trying to say. So after giving that introduction, now you want to talk about the main idea of the essay. So the next thing you want to do, body paragraph. Body paragraph. We talk about paragraph. Now, I talked about paragraph last 2 weeks. If you haven't seen that video, it was a live section. Go to my live after this live, and you find where I talked about paragraph. I elucidated on it. I talked about everything that has to do with paragraph. So I'm just going to run through it. I'm not going to talk about it much because I've explained that already in my last live section. So paragraph here talks about topic sentence, states the main idea of the paragraph. Now, every paragraph needs a main idea. So the first paragraph states the main idea as your topic. Then evidence, explain, transition. Is either you're transitioning or you're concluding. Now, when you have more to say, you transition. However, when you're done, you conclude. Instead of transitioning, you conclude. So that's how it is done. Now, for body paragraph, for evidence, you give examples, facts. Oh, this was how Kunle went to the city, got a phone, started educating himself at home, and he became a doctor, he became a lawyer. You give evidences, you give examples of how this topic has really affected life. So you give instances that will make your reader believe your idea, believe your story, because everyone needs a proof. Your evidence, your examples are proofs that it really works. So you need evidence, example, explain, transition, explain everything, how it has helped, how it will help. You give an explanation, then transition to the next, something relating to the next topic. Whilst you're still talking about this, you say something that relates to the next paragraph. So every paragraph must have its topic sentence, evidence or examples, explanation, and transition or conclusion. I ought to write it here, transition or conclusion. Now, thirdly, finally, when you're done writing your idea, reason why your reader should listen to you, you want to influence your reader after writing everything that will be able to influence whoever is listening to you. What you want to do is your conclusion. Now, in concluding, restate the thesis in a fresh way. Don't say everything you have said at the beginning word to word. Yes, something similar, something same thing, but in a fresh way. If you have used like, this time love. If you had used explain, this time say something similar to it. For example, I wrote here, as education continues to evolve, online learning emerges as a powerful alternative to traditional methods, meeting the diverse needs of modern students. So you see, I said the same thing I said when I started, but this time around, I rephrased it. All right, I rephrased it, saying that, implying that I've been able to convince my reader. So at the beginning, I was trying to convince you. By this time, I am done. I have convinced you. So I am now very certain. And what did I say? I said, as education continues to evolve, online learning emerges as a powerful alternative to traditional method, meeting the diverse needs of modern students. Now, I have convinced you, and I'm quite sure that you will agree with me, and that's why I'm talking this way at the end, in conclusion. So we also have summarized key points. So summarize your key points, your key points within the paragraphs. You summarize it. Here I wrote its accessibility. If accessibility allow people from all backgrounds to learn at their own pace. So its accessibility allows people to learn from all backgrounds at their own pace. Everyone can learn at their own pace. There is no rush. Everyone now can be intelligent because of how online education is helping people to be able to repeat, to replay, to go over it again and again until they understand. Because the more you read, the more you go over something again and again, the better it gets. It allows flexibility, accommodates different schedules and lifestyle. If you want to study by 12, it's fine. You want to study by 3, it's fine. You want to study by 1, it's fine. This is what online education is doing for us today. For me, I study 12, sometimes 11, because of the flexibility of technology. Now, and its personalized approach enhances engagement and retention. So now you have to choose what works for you. If you're someone that can learn easily with pictures, with audio, some people do not know how to sit and read, but now they can just easily use Audible to listen, and then they get the same thing. For me, I also support the motion of online education. It's very, very paramount, momentous. It's very important. Now, after talking about it, your closing thought. Embracing online education doesn't mean abandoning the classroom. It means expanding our horizons and creating more inclusive adaptive learning opportunities for everyone. The speaker or the writer is not trying to say, oh, stop class education or actual education. No, that's not what the speaker is saying. The speaker is trying to say, or the writer is trying to say, I am trying to say that actual education and virtual education are both important because you need to interact, you need social skills, and in that way, you need to be physically present, as well as virtual education. So we should always have a balance. All right, balance is key. So whilst online education is very important, we also need actual or physical education. It helps to make us a whole individual. So if you're only used to online, you might begin to lack social skills. Online all the time, and you're never found in virtual classes. Sometimes it will affect your social skills. However, you don't stick to only actual education. By that, I mean physical education, physical class only, because sometimes there are more online, on the internet, more information that you can get. So if you stick to only actual physical education, you might lose from this end. So both of them are important in today's world. So in writing your essay, these are the steps to follow. You can write it down and use it at every time you want to write something. You want to write something on the internet, you want to post, you're a blogger, whatever you want to do. This is a great method to write your essay. I hope you learned something today. Write in the comment section, I learned something today. All right, I believe you've learned something. I'll see you in my next class. Love you. Do well to subscribe, like, share, comment. Bye for now.